All right, so welcome to another deep dive, everybody. And today we are, kind of exploring something a little different, a play script called Norton Street by E.J. Gold.
Okay.
And, you might be thinking, a play? What kind of deep dive is that?
Right.
But trust me on this one, this is a real head scratcher. It grapples with, some really massive questions about reality.
Yeah.
Consciousness, what happens after we die?
It's really not your typical night at the theater.
No, not at all.
Oh.
So imagine an ordinary apartment
Okay.
called Norton Street, but here's the catch: it exists on a higher level of reality.
And it's described in really meticulous detail. This apartment contains exactly 128 objects.
128 objects, huh? That seems oddly specific.
It is, and the play, it really emphasizes that each object, from a blonde wig to a Klein bottle paperweight, actually represents a whole universe.
Wait, hold on. So the play is suggesting that just a simple wig in this apartment represents a whole universe.
Exactly. It's Gold's way of exploring this whole idea of nested realities.
Okay.
We think our universe is everything, but what if it's just one small piece of something much larger?
Okay, now my mind's officially blown. So where does the main character, Bornless, fit into all this?
So Bornless, he's the central figure in the play.
Right.
And after each death in the human world, he finds himself back in this Norton Street apartment on the same day.
Oh, wow.
Surrounded by the same 128 objects.
So it's like a cosmic Groundhog Day situation.
Precisely. It's this repeating loop highlighting the cyclical nature of existence. And each time Bornless returns to Norton Street, he's overwhelmed by this really intense feeling of nausea, fear, and exhaustion.
Man, you'd think being the creator of everything would come with some perks.
Right.
But Bornless doesn't seem to be enjoying it very much.
Well, that's the irony, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's burdened with being the one responsible for the existence of everything. Yet he's constantly struggling with these really negative emotions.
Yeah.
It raises the question, what's the point of creation if the creator himself can't find peace?
That's a good question. And if Norton Street is this higher level of reality, where does Earth fit into all of this?
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The play presents this idea that Earth is actually a game level created by Bornless to escape the starkness and isolation of Norton Street.
So Earth is like a video game designed by Bornless.
In a sense, yes.
Okay, and what are we, the players?
The play specifically mentions computers and the internet as being really essential components of this whole system.
Okay.
It even suggests that Norton Street itself relies on technology that we humans developed.
Huh.
Things like gaming computers and video platforms.
Wait, so Bornless creates us. We develop technology, and then he uses that technology to create another version of us.
That's the gist of it. It's this fascinating commentary on our relationship with technology and how it might be blurring the lines between reality and simulation.
It really makes you wonder, are we all just characters in someone else's elaborate game?
Right.
And what happens when the game ends?
That's a question the play doesn't explicitly answer.
Right.
But it points to a deeper point. Are we truly in control of our own lives, or are we simply playing out roles predetermined by someone or something else?
Definitely something to think about. Speaking of other players, I'm curious about the other characters in the play. Mike, Crystal, Audrey.
Okay.
Who are they? How do they end up on Norton Street?
That's a key part of the mystery. They are also trapped in this strange loop, each arriving in different ways.
Okay.
Some, like Crystal, were drawn in through videos they found on YouTube and MetaCafe, specifically those waking state videos, as the play calls them.
Waking state videos, what exactly are those?
So they're described as videos of people in a state between sleep and wakefulness, and somehow these videos act as a portal.
Interesting.
Pulling people from our reality into Norton Street.
That's a little creepy, to be honest.
Yeah.
It raises the question, what is it about these videos that allows this transfer to happen?
Right.
Is it the content of the videos? The mental state of the viewers? Something else entirely?
It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
And the play kind of invites us to consider the different possibilities.
It seems like Gold is suggesting that consciousness itself might be more fluid and interconnected than we realize. Possibly even susceptible to manipulation through technology.
It definitely raises some unsettling questions about how the digital world might be influencing our minds and our perception of reality.
Okay, so we've got this strange repeating world a creator who's miserable, and people being sucked in from Earth through weird online videos.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What else is in store for us on Norton Street?
Well, there's one more thing I think we should discuss.
Okay.
Something that adds another layer to this already unsettling scenario. Remember that feeling Bornless has of being watched? That he's not alone even in this supposedly higher reality.
Yeah, it was like a constant undercurrent of unease.
Well, that feeling is justified. You see, Norton Street isn't just a random apartment on a higher plane of existence. It's being broadcast.
Broadcast. Like on TV?
Not exactly. It's being streamed online as a reality show.
Hold on. You're telling me that Bornless, the creator of everything, is unknowingly the star of an interdimensional reality show?
That's right. It's one of the play's biggest twists.
Wow. This just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
And it makes you think, if Bornless can be observed without his knowledge, is it possible that we're being watched too?
Right.
Perhaps our own lives are being streamed for the entertainment of some unseen audience.
Okay, now I'm officially creeped out.
Right.
It's like gold is holding up a mirror to our own fascination with reality TV and social media, forcing us to ask like these uncomfortable questions about privacy and voyeurism in the digital age.
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? To consider that we might be living under constant surveillance, even in moments we think are private.
This has been quite the journey so far. We've gone from an ordinary apartment to a cosmic game level to a reality show broadcast across dimensions.
There's a lot to take in.
What else did you uncover as you delved into the depths of Norton Street?
Well, the characters themselves,
Okay.
particularly Mike, Crystal, and Audrey, each have like unique perspectives on their situation
Okay.
and offer some intriguing insights. I think it's worth taking a closer look at their individual journeys and what they reveal about the human condition.
Yeah.
Even when facing such bizarre circumstances.
That sounds fascinating. I'm ready to hear more about what these other characters bring to the table.
So let's, dive a bit deeper into like the other residents of Norton Street.
Okay.
Mike, for example. He seems to have like adopted a rather philosophical approach to their predicament.
Yeah, I remember him saying something about Zen.
Exactly. He encourages Bornless to like let go of his need for control, reminding him that this is Zen nothing happens next.
Right.
It's almost like he's embraced the absurdity of their situation.
But doesn't he also like express his own doubts at times?
There's a moment where he confides in Bornless, admitting, I'm in just as much trouble as you're in.
Right.
It suggests that even with his seemingly calm exterior, he's grappling with the same anxieties and uncertainties.
So even the character who seems to have it all figured out is still struggling.
Exactly. None of them truly have the answers.
Right.
They're all just trying to make sense of this bizarre reality they found themselves in.
Yeah, and it's not just like the existential dread they're dealing with.
Right.
The play is filled with these strange, almost disturbing details.
Yes.
Like, Bornless keeps finding himself alone in the bathroom, and there's this, like, recurring image of star barf, as the play calls it.
Right.
Basically, the universe being vomited out.
Yes, those details are quite unsettling. It's like Gold is using these visceral descriptions to convey the chaotic and often uncomfortable nature of existence, even on a cosmic scale.
Right. Like, even though Norton Street is supposed to be this higher reality, it doesn't feel peaceful or serene.
Oh.
It feels claustrophobic and disturbing.
And that sense of unease is heightened by the play's repetitive structure. It's always the same day, the same room for Bornless and his companions.
Right.
They're stuck in this cosmic time loop.
You mentioned Crystal arrived through those waking state videos.
Yeah.
What about Mike and Audrey? How did they find themselves on Norton Street?
That's another fascinating detail.
Yeah.
The play doesn't explicitly state how they arrived.
Oh, okay.
Adding to the mystery.
So it's possible they stumbled into this reality in a similar way, perhaps through some other form of technology or altered state of consciousness.
It's certainly implied, and it goes back to that idea we talked about earlier, the possibility that our minds and our realities are more interconnected than we realize.
Right.
And perhaps even susceptible to external influence.
We're all familiar with those like glitch in the matrix moments in our own lives.
Yes.
Those instances where things just seem a little off.
Exactly. What if those glitches are actually glimpses into these other layers of reality?
Right.
Moments where the veil thins.
Yeah.
And we catch a glimpse of something beyond our normal perception.
It's a bit unsettling, but also kind of exciting to think about.
Definitely. And I think that's part of what makes Norton Street so compelling. It plays with these existential questions, blurring the lines between reality and illusion.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it leaves us with more questions than answers.
One thing I found particularly interesting is how the play uses humor
Yes.
to explore these, heady concepts. I mean, it's a pretty dark and absurd kind of humor.
It is.
But it's there.
Absolutely. There are moments where the characters' reactions to their absurd situation are genuinely funny.
Right.
Like when Mike cracks that joke about pigs not sweating, even though he's clearly experiencing, physical symptoms of anxiety right alongside Bornless.
Or Crystal's, like dry delivery when explaining that, they're being watched because Norton Street is, in fact, a reality show.
Yeah, it's great.
Like she's accepted the absurdity of it all.
Exactly. It's that blend of humor and existential dread that makes Norton Street so unique.
Yeah.
It doesn't shy away from the big questions,
Right.
but it also doesn't take itself too seriously.
So we've got this creator who's trapped in his own creation, this group of people who are stuck in a time loop on a reality show,
Right.
and this constant sense of like unease and discomfort.
Yeah.
What's the overall message here? What's Gold trying to tell us with this play?
I think one of the key takeaways is that reality is far more complex and fluid than we tend to believe. It challenges our assumptions about the nature of existence, about free will, and about the role of technology in shaping our lives.
And it forces us to confront the uncomfortable possibility that we might not be as in control as we think we are.
Precisely. And while the play doesn't offer any easy answers,
Right.
it encourages us to question, to explore,
Yeah.
and to embrace the unknown.
I'm starting to get the feeling that there are no simple answers to be found on Norton Street. Just
Ah.
layers upon layers of reality, each one stranger than the last.
And perhaps that's the point,
Yeah.
to shake us out of our complacency,
Okay.
to make us question the very fabric of our existence.
So where do we go from here? We've covered the main characters, the unsettling atmosphere, the bizarre premise, and the humor woven throughout.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in Norton Street that you think our listeners should know?
There's one more element we haven't touched on yet.
Yeah.
Something that adds another layer of complexity to the whole situation.
Okay.
It has to do with the nature of Norton Street itself
Yeah.
and what its true purpose might be.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my curiosity. All right, so lay it on me. What's the deal with Norton Street? Like, it's more than just a random apartment, right?
Yeah, you're picking up on something important there. It's easy to get caught up in the characters and the bizarre situation.
Yeah.
But the setting itself plays like a crucial role in the play's deeper meaning.
So it's not just a stage for, the drama to unfold.
Exactly. Remember those 128 objects, each representing a universe?
Yeah.
Well, there's a theory within the play
Okay.
that Norton Street itself might be a sort of incubator,
Okay.
a controlled environment where these universes can develop and evolve.
So it's like a cosmic laboratory.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And who's the scientist in charge of this lab?
Right.
Well, it seems to be Bornless,
Yeah.
even if he's not fully aware of his role.
That makes sense considering he's like the creator of everything. But why would he need a lab for universes? Aren't they already out there doing their university things?
That's the mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
One possibility is that these universes represented by the objects are like fledgling realities,
Okay.
still in their early stages of development.
Okay.
Perhaps Norton Street provides a safe space for them to grow and mature before being released into the wider cosmos.
So you're saying that the blonde wig on the dresser might actually be a baby universe.
Exactly. It's a mind-boggling concept, but it speaks to the play's exploration of the vastness and complexity of existence. It suggests that there might be levels of reality far beyond our comprehension,
Right.
with processes and forces at work
Yeah.
that we can only begin to imagine.
It's humbling in a way
Yeah.
to think that our entire universe might be just one tiny experiment in a much grander scheme. And it makes the idea of Bornless being observed even more unsettling. If Norton Street is a lab, who's watching the experiment?
That's a question the play leaves unanswered, but it's a crucial one.
Yeah.
It raises the possibility of a higher intelligence, some entity that's monitoring and perhaps even manipulating these developing universes.
It's almost as if gold is hinting at the existence of a cosmic puppet master,
Right.
pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case,
Yeah.
what does it say about our own free will?
Right.
Are we truly making our own choices?
Yeah.
Or are we simply playing out a predetermined script written by someone or something far beyond our understanding?
Big questions.
Those are some heavy questions to ponder. It's like Norton Street takes all those like late night philosophical debates we have about the universe and throws them into a blender
Yeah.
with a dash of science fiction and a sprinkle of dark humor.
It's a potent mix, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that makes this play so relevant, even though it was written years ago. It taps into those primal fears
Right.
and fascinations we have about the nature of reality, the unknown,
Yeah.
and our place in the grand scheme of things.
It definitely resonates with like our current anxieties about technology surveillance.
Oh, yeah.
The blurring lines between the real and the virtual.
Absolutely. The play serves as like a cautionary tale,
Okay.
reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement
Yeah.
can have unintended consequences.
Right.
It challenges us to think critically about the tools we create
Mhm.
and the potential impact they might have on our lives, our minds, and even our perception of reality.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Norton Street, what are some key takeaways you think our listeners should hold on to?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's important to remember that reality is a lot more complex and multi-layered than we tend to assume. The play encourages us to question our assumptions about the nature of existence, the
Right.
limits of our perception, and the possibility of other dimensions or levels of reality.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, only to discover that there's no core.
Right.
Just more layers, each one stranger than the last.
And it reminds us that technology, while a powerful tool, can also be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of how we use it and the potential impact it might have on our lives and our understanding of the world.
So in a way, Norton Street is a call to action.
Yeah.
A call to be more aware, more critical, and more engaged with the world around us, both real and virtual.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we are not passive observers in our own lives.
Right.
We have the power to shape our reality both individually and collectively.
This has been an incredible journey. We've delved into the depths of Norton Street,
It has been.
uncovering hidden meanings, exploring philosophical questions,
Absolutely.
and confronting some unsettling truths about ourselves and the world we inhabit.
It's a play that stays with you long after the curtain falls, prompting you to question everything you thought you knew about reality, consciousness, and the nature of existence itself.
If you're looking for a thought-provoking experience that will, like, challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding of the universe, I highly recommend checking out Norton Street for yourself.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You might just find that it changes the way you see the world.
And as you navigate the complexities of your own reality,
Yeah.
remember to keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.
Until next time, fellow deep divers,